Hey there.
Hello, is this Kate Garns?
It sure is.
It's your lucky day or mine.
I'm the lucky
It's
one.
nice. It's nice to hear from you, and I understand you're in Orlando,
I
Florida.
am. I am. It is bright and sunny here.
It's nice to hear from you, and thank you for taking time to speak to my
Of course.
listeners. You began to do public speaking, and I'd
Yeah,
like to talk to you about
of
that for
course.
a few minutes if I can. And what drew you to do public speaking, and what is it that you're
Sure.
doing speaking
So,
about?
I when I look back over my life, it's so interesting how everything pointed to speaking, but I couldn't see it. And I don't think I had the courage. I didn't think that I had a good enough story or that anyone would really want to listen to me stand on a stage and just talk myself. So I had always kind of said, I would love to start a group with a bunch of people on a stage dancing or doing something, but also having a positive messaging through it. And it wasn't until I had been at Disney for 6 years, or roughly 6 years, I was really unhappy. I had just gotten out of a 4-year relationship. I was 28 at the time, and I was just really unhappy. And I went to my 10-year high school reunion, and a girl from high school who was always like really wonderful, really sweet, really kind. She came up and she noticed that I was just really down. And she said, Kate, what do you want your life to look like? And it was in that moment that God said, here you go. This is what you've been waiting for. And I said, I want to be a motivational speaker. I had never said it out loud, meaning just myself. As soon as I said those words, all of my doubts, all of my questions, all of concerns were gone. And I knew without a shadow of a doubt that was what I was meant to do with my life. So I flew back from Columbia to Orlando, and on the flight, I wrote a letter.
Were you raised in
Yes, yes, yes.
Missouri?
Yep, born and raised. So, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
on my way home, I wrote a letter to 8 people that I viewed successful and said, hey, I know without a shadow of a doubt this is what I'm meant to do. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know any motivational speakers. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I would love your input. And just through hustle, hard work, and word of mouth, I started listening to any podcast I could. And then I found a podcast called the Speaker Lab podcast with Grant Baldwin. And from that, I got a coach. Her name's Harriet Turk. She's the best speaker coaches. Flew myself out to Memphis to work with her. And 2 years later, I'm a professional speaker full time. So, and I speak on how to find your worth and your value when no one shows up to do your value.
And you're talking to young people
Yes, I
throughout the
speak
country, I
mostly to
take it.
teen leadership.
How many events do you do in a year?
So my first year I did 7. Last year I did 30. This year I was set up to be around 50, and then the coronavirus happened. So we're not totally sure what this year's gonna look like. But my goal is 100. Goal is 100
Uh,
gigs a year.
well, that's interesting. And so, tell us a little bit about the substance of your chats with the
Sure.
young people across
So
the
I
country.
speak on everybody has a recording, meaning somebody made one comment to you one time. Someone called you fat. Someone said you were ugly. Someone said you were dumb. Someone said you couldn't sit with them because of the color of your skin. Someone said that you believed incorrectly or something. And that became your truth. That became the voice that you heard in your head. Mine was my dad was a severe alcoholic, and he just always kind of made me feel like a disappointment. So I just always, just in the back of my head, thought, well, it doesn't really matter because you're a disappointment. It didn't matter how many times my mom said how much she loved me. I would still hear my dad saying, but you're just not good enough. And so my talk helps teenagers recognize those recordings, especially the ones that are lies, and it helps them know how to re-record, know how to start their own healthy recording of something positive, and how to find their worth and how to find their value when they may not have parents speaking truth to them at home, when they may not have a church community that they're a part of, when they may not have any friends at school. How can they find their worth and their value when no one shows up to tell them how awesome they are?
Wow, amazing. You still have family in the Flint area,
I do.
aunts and
Mm-hmm.
uncles, or yes, and they have a big history with the Flint Journal, I
Yes,
understand.
my uncle Michael Pastorino, has been he recently retired within the last couple of years, but was a big part of the Flint Journal. So, and he still lives up there. I was born and raised in Missouri, but my mom, Judy Pastor, was born and raised in Flint. And my dad was actually in Battle Creek, Michigan. So going to Michigan, especially Flint, has been a part of my life. We've gone up there at least 2 times a year until about a couple years ago. But yeah, that was always we never really went on vacations to like Disney World or to the beach or anything as a kid. My mom and I always went up to Flint. I love it there.
A vacation to
Yep, that was
Flint.
my vacation.
And your family attended local schools in the
Yep.
Flint area?
Mom went moved over to Powers High School. She was the first graduating class of Powers High School.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
As you said, I live down in Orlando, Florida. I've been down here about a little over 9 years, about 9.5 years or so. For those years, I was professionally for Walt Disney World and Studios as a performer. And then within the last 4 years, I started my own company, and I am now a teen motivational speaker. So I travel all over the nation speaking to teenagers, mostly teen leadership. So think like student council, future business leaders of America, future farmers of America, those kind of organizations. I speak mostly for their state and regional conferences, which then also leads into high schools and middle schools.
Your career now is out of performing art, the Disney company, and you're just doing speaking work now. Is that
Yeah,
what
I
it
mean, I
is?
still technically am employed by the Disney, and speaking, that is my full-time job until this big old virus hit. Speaking has been definitely my full-time job, even though speaking is its own type of performance. That's my main focus and
Sure.
my full-time gig.
Well, tell us about your Disney
Sure.
experience.
So I started on what's called the Disney College Program, which is where Disney has any college kid. You have to have at least it's either one semester or a year of college under your belt. You can apply to move down and work for Disney for a semester, and they pay you. Not a lot, but they pay you. You live on property, and you work for the company, and you get college credit. So that's how I started. I was a junior in college pursuing a degree in music education. And I got to my final semester and I was like, oh, I hate this. This is not at all what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do with my life, but this isn't it. And God just showed me, okay, then we're going to send you down to Disney. So I found out about the college program.
So you didn't drop
No,
out of
I
school.
didn't.
You didn't drop
I
out of
took a semester off, which actually ended up being a year off to get some extra college credit and to work for. And then I went back to Kansas where I went to school to finish school.
So are
I
you a
am a
shocker?
shocker.
Oh God, I miss the Shockers. They're my
They're
favorite team.
wonderful.
That's Wichita State
Yes.
University is.
Yeah, and see, they weren't great at
Probably like to.
basketball when I was there. They didn't bother to get really good at basketball until I moved to Orlando. Then they decided that they wanted to be really good. That's fine.
They have, without any question, the most exciting basketball
Yeah.
program in America. You went to Disney, and did they make you Cinderella right away?
I'm actually not tall enough to be a princess. I wish, but I did. I joined right in with in it, and I did just meeting with guests and characters. I was very good friends with Mickey Mouse. Him and I hung out quite a bit together. He was originally going to be Mortimer. That was the first name that Walt came up with, and his wife looked at him and said, "Oh, absolutely will not name that mouse more." So, yeah, true story. We hung out a lot together over 9 years, Mickey and me. But I started to slowly learn the day parade and the electrical parade, and then got to do some really cool stuff, hanging out with Mickey on the Magic Kingdom Castle stage, along with some commercial shoots. Did media stuff for Good Morning America and Good Puerto Rico, and yeah, really fun.
Did you play the role of a character or
like a parade or something that was on TV and Mickey was blinking and talking? There's a good chance that him and I were hanging out. So maybe not, but there's a good chance.
do you do any other performing arts, such as roles in theater
Sure.
or
So yeah, I
dance?
grew up dancing in the studio. I also did competitive show choir all through high school and college. As for Disney, I did some tap dance stuff for Disney a couple times, and I danced a little bit, but mostly I just did character work.
Now, what's the hardest part of that job? I hear it's a really hot job because
Yes.
it gets so pretty warm in
Yeah,
Orlando.
it's definitely the hottest I've ever been in my entire life. When we first opened the Festival of Fantasy Day Parade back in, I think, 2014 is when we opened it, they had to call what we call alpha units, which are basically ambulances. They had to call 8 of them for our first parade because so many people got overheated. So, and we do have protocol There's nurses on standby to help with overheating. They do take really good care of us with like iced popsicles, or we always have water. We always have a towel to try to cool off, but nothing prepares you for that heat. That's for sure.
It's
Yes.
like boot camp.
Yes.
Do they have a boot camp
Um,
for Mickey
no,
Mouse
they don't. Just kind of
and
like
Goofy?
throw you in the fire, and some people can't, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. It's definitely one of the hardest jobs I've ever done physically, but your body adapts. Your body gets used to it. Weird way. I don't know how to explain it.
So, what was your weirdest experience you've had in the Magic Kingdom?
Ooh, that's a great question. What's the weirdest experience? I don't know if it's good or not, but in the 9 years I worked there, I never really saw anybody famous. And like all of my friends did. I guess I was just always in the wrong place at the wrong time when working. I mean, the things that you hear, you really see the best in humanity and the worst in humanity, kind of like this virus is bringing out right now. People who have been waiting since, who like are 80 years old and they've waited their whole lives to see Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse. And those are the moments that you really just kind of drink it in. And I had a few people come to visit Mickey who had just lost their child to cancer, but they went on the trip anyway to kind of honor their memory. So those were always really tough, but also really heartwarming. And then you see people who are not always the most patient and not always the most kind. And that's one thing I definitely miss from the North, be it Michigan or Missouri, is that people are very kind, or they tend to be more kind, and people here tend to not be, especially when they've paid their life savings and they don't want to wait in line, which totally understandable. I completely get it. But also, like, there is a small person who is very, very warm, and you to let them go and have some water. It's not all about you. I don't know. It's you see the best in humanity and the worst in humanity.
So, Kate, just to wind up here, do you have any advice for young people who want to get to
Yeah.
be Mickey Mouse or who want to be
Yeah.
an accomplished
Well,
speaker like you are?
I just wanted to touch on, you brought up gun violence. I've seen Bowling for Columbine. I remember you in it, but at least when I have spoken to teens, when things like gun violence comes up, and especially now moving forward with this virus, our will never be the same. I kind of equate it to 9/11, how our normal after 9/11 was never really the same. And if we want to battle gun violence, if we want to battle, I'm guessing suicide rates are going to be astronomical right now because of people just feeling so isolated. It's showing love and it's showing kindness. And imagine if, because we're all being so cognizant right now and very intentional about social distancing and about being taking care of ourselves and others. We're being so intentional. What would happen if we showed that much intention just for one day to love others? Or if we showed that much intention to be kind to those who look different than us, who speak differently than us, who pray differently than us. Imagine how healed the world could, even in just one day, if we were so intentional as we are right now with this virus, to loving others and to being kind. One thing that
It's kind of in tune with John Lennon's thoughts
Mhm.
when he wrote the
Yeah.
song Imagine.
So, I mean, wrapping all of it up, we have all this time on our hands right now, which is we can look at as something horrible, or we can look at as a gift. How are we going to be intentional with our words? How are we going to be intentional with our thoughts? So, just the biggest thing I would tell the teens now is, number one, you don't need anyone to complete you. You're complete on your own. Number two, you truly can do anything you set your mind to. I never thought that I would make a good amount of money speaking to teenagers by myself. I truly thought, why is anyone going to want to listen to a lower middle class white girl from Missouri who's never had cancer, who's never fought a shark, who's never been on Survivor? And someone flat out said, that's why people will resonate with you, because you don't have that superhero story. You're just like everyone. But just because we're just like everyone doesn't mean you don't have an extraordinary story to tell. So that would probably be the biggest piece of advice I would give, is try to love yourself as much as you can love others, and be really, really intentional with your thoughts and your words around, especially right now.
Excellent. Lastly, any parting words
Oh,
for the
stay
people of
strong,
Flint?
Flint. Go get, what is that burger place called that has the olive burgers? They're so good. Flint, go have an olive burger.
That's my favorite
No,
place.
man, Halo Burger.
No, it's
Halo
called
Burger. Oh,
Halo
what I would give for an
Burgers.
olive burger. Flint it's like that scrappy puppy that everybody tries discount. and it's been through so much, and it always rises from the ashes. It always rises up stronger than ever. I'm so proud. I'm not from Flint, but I am from Flint because it was a lot of my childhood. What a city, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for it.
Well, thank you, Kate Garns from Columbia, Missouri, and now a transplant to the state of Florida. Keep safe there. I hope to get a chance to speak to you again. It seems like we just...
You got it. Anytime.
We just got started. So this is Radio Free Flint, signing over and out.
Bye.
With Kate Garns and Arthur Bush.